what it's like being in someone else's shoes, then it'll make it easier for you two to relate. But that's where I think we're different. And that's how I think we should grow as people. It's just understanding that somebody else is different. My sister in the back, Khadijah, she is African. She has adopted the American culture. You know, but when it comes down to it, it's a lot of things that, you know, she says, oh, back home they do this, they do that, or in her house, it's different from how we live out here, or how anyone lives out here. So she has to teach. It's always a teaching moment. And it's always a moment to learn as well. So I think that's what we have to do, is just continue to teach each other's culture.
Thank you very much. Next question. Do you honor or have learned to honor the cultural and regional diversity of that African American past in regards to slavery?
It's funny because there's some things that, you know, it's like, why do we honor this? I learned in one of my classes that the reason why we jumped the broom, because when we were slaves, or when our ancestors were slaves, was because that was them symbolizing that they were together. That was the only thing they do. So we do it now to honor the fact that at one point, for your mother and father to have been married, they needed to jump the broom. They didn't get a ceremony. They didn't get any of that stuff. So we do it now because at one point we weren't able to do this action. Me, myself, there are certain things that I feel like we do need to just kill. You know, a lot of things we do need to just kill, like this whole light skin, dark skin thing. I think it's stupid. For lack of better words, I think that we should all embrace each other because we all are people of color. And even people who are fair skinned, you know, like there's nothing saying that anyone's better than anyone else. And that was one of the things that you said earlier. You was like, it's pride. And it's not just about what country you're from, what complexion you are. It's pride about Africa. And we need to be proud that we are people of color. But yeah, that's just one of the things. Honestly, I don't think that I do anything that we've done in the past or done through slavery or carry anything with me like that. I know that in our culture there are a lot of secrets. And that's another thing that, you know, it hinders our children and it hinders us, because we can ask as African Americans, hey, who's the oldest member in your family? And I can only go up to my grandfather, whom I've never met. You know, so it's like we need to continue to tell stories and continue to talk about our past. I also learned that, you know, it's funny because people in the of Jewish faith, every single holiday, every single Hanukkah, they sit around the table and you know what they do? They talk about the Holocaust. And it's important to them because they need to remember where they came from. But I don't even think a lot of our families sit around the table. I don't even think a lot of our families even talk about slavery. Because it's like something we just want to go away with. But when you remember that, you actually bring it back into life and you actually understand it, and your children will grow up saying, okay, well, I know the shoulders that I stand on. I know that my great-great-grandmother picked cotton. You know, I know that this happened. So when I'm granted the opportunity to go to a university, whether it be HBCU, whether it be a predominantly white institution, I am glad that I'm at a university getting an education. Because this is what they fought for. Rather than sitting here wasting your grades, wasting your time, wasting your life, and wasting your parents' money. You know, so I think that's one thing that we need to just die. It needs to kill. We need to kill that and just take advantage of what we got. Because at one point, we didn't have education, and we weren't granted education or allowed to even read or beat for reading. So that's pretty much that.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Now back to Irene.
Okay, guys. Now it's time to introduce. Oh, that will be all for the game. Thank you. Sorry. I would like to introduce Mr. Prince to come and speak on behalf of African Students Association. Thank you.
coming.
Hello, everybody. I actually have to leave, but I didn't realize how late you guys were going to be here. And this is pretty interesting because I'm a state alum, and I don't remember. Yes, I don't remember. Being able to. I mean, when I was here, we didn't have. We were still working on Foster. So this is very nice that you guys can stay this late and hang out and talk, because we used to be at a library and it became this hour now. So I thought you guys would be done by 9. I had other arrangements, but I will give you a brief profile of me. I will discuss. I can't go into as detailed as Ms. Jennifer has asked me to talk about Ghanaian culture, Ghanaian history, but I will give you sort of a synopsis. And I will ask that your next meeting you invite me and I will be aware of the time so I can go into detail with things that anybody would like to know, okay? Okay. So my name is Duke Edu Janfi Duke Edu Janfi the 4th. Now, by some deal of faith, I'm a prince, right? I'm a prince. I'm like most Ghanaians that are here. If there's any Ghanaians that are here, if I tell about my family, you get to know, you understand where I'm coming from. And I'm going to go a little bit back and forth between what you've discussed here already and some things we've talked about. My name being Duke and me being a prince, growing up in Africa, it was funny because Duke is a title of a prince in England, right? So literally my name is Prince, right? Okay. I am from the Achem Kingdom of Ghana, which is the second largest kingdom besides the Ashanti Kingdom, right? My great grandfather is Amwako Ata Ofriata, right? If you don't know any history about Africa, let me just put it this way. I come from one of the oldest royal families ever in existence on the planet. Wow. So let us think it for a second. Ghana, the thing about Ghana that most people don't realize, why African Americans and Europeans and everybody love Ghana so much, because Ghana actually represents a time gone. This young man mentioned Mensa Musa. Ghana is from that era. If you are black, if you are an African sitting here today, it doesn't matter whether you're African American or African, you are black. Okay? And I need you to take a moment when you look at yourself in the mirror to understand something about history and about Africa and about why people love Ghana so much. The original man was black. Understand that. God didn't make Adam and Eve and Paul and John, and God made Adam and Eve. And from whatever history is, we all know that the original people came from Africa. Okay? Be proud of who you are. Walk with dignity. Walk with pride. Carry your shoulders broad. When you meet an African American, greet them, say hello to them, talk to them. And I'm just hitting on that from what you guys were discussing. Because I did what you guys are talking about when I was here. I stayed. When I came to stay, if there anybody that I was here in 2004, 2006, on my way to law school, and what state taught me was humility, right? When I came to stay, it was, I've been in America all my life, most of my life, so I'm literally African. Somebody said they're African, somebody said they're African-American. I am African. Because I'm proud to be an African, I'm a naturalized American, so, I'm African-American. Like African-Americans go, I'm there. Africans go, I'm there. Right?
So which one do you choose?
I'm me.
I like that one.
Yes. If y'all didn't get that.
So, and like I said, I just want to briefly go over what you guys were saying, just to empower you to continue doing it. I was discussing with your dean. Before I get to talk about myself, understand something. This is the most important part of your life. This is the biggest network you will ever have. This is the people that 20 years from now, when you are that CEO, that big boss lady, you're supposed to put out that strong shoulders, you can't cry, and you can't look, weak. You can call your girlfriend and share with her, because you can't do that in public. Take everybody that you meet over here, keep them close by, learn from them. I came here, and to finish this part of what I'm saying, I came here in 2000, I think around, before I left, they did a big profile of me. If any of you right now get on Google, Virginia State, type of my name, you see me, I come up. There's a big profile that was done by Virginia State, by Black Enterprise, HRH, that a Ghanaian royalty was studying here. I was so quiet that nobody knew who I was. All I knew was there was a guy who comes to school, he never said, he's with a chauffeur, with a bodyguard. And who the heck is that guy? Right? So people found out who I was, they're like, okay. Oh, it makes sense now. That image that I had here, not being comfortable to be around everybody else, didn't allow me to enjoy my stay at school. When I went to law school, I realized, wait a minute, this is important. Okay? So please understand this. They had a Black African organization here when I was here. I wasn't part of it. I came every now and then. Be proud of who you are. Okay? All this negativity, that's the world. It's out there. It's waiting for you. Trust me. All this, I don't know where I'm from, and I'm Ghanaian. I came to America when Ghanaians were not that, Africans were not that many in America. I'm like an in-between child. I came to America back in the early 90s. And it wasn't as easy as you find it now. So please, put away all that. The American, the Liberian, the Nigerian, it doesn't matter. The best you can do when you meet somebody, put a smile on your face, walk up to them, open your hands. How you doing? It's that simple. It's that easy. That's not where they come from. A smile. Ask their name. This is what you need. Okay? All right. So, the reason why I just talk about this is this. Before I talk about myself, is this. Learn the history of Africa. And understand that the biggest people, politicians, everybody in Africa, from Kwame Nkrumah to Nelson Mandela, to all these people that you hear about in your history, they met in school, in Europe, in America, from Martin Luther to Du Bois, all these people in academia. You may be a future leader of your country, of your city, of somewhere. Understand that. Okay? Please, please, please. If nothing I say here tonight means anything to you, hold yourself high and organize yourself and build together. All right? Okay.
Thank you.
So, like I said, I didn't know the amount of time I had or how you guys were going to do things. So a brief history of Ghana, okay? The idea of Ghana, when I say in the beginning, is very, very old. Ghana, the name itself comes from one of the oldest empires that ever existed in Africa. Okay? Ghana was the first country, nation in Africa that get independent from colonialism. Ghana was the fighting power behind African independence as you see today. I mostly hear people talk about Africa, and like most of you said, the idea that people have about Africa is not what it is today. Okay? Just understand that, open your mind, get out there and learn about the history that you have. You know, learn about the things that are different, but almost the same here. Okay? Ghana has a democracy just like America. Ghanaians have an economy just like here. Ghanaians have, I'm telling you, I live a better life in Ghana than I live in America. Half of the Ghanaians are, the Nigerians over here, you ask them, they grew up with servants, they grew up with chauffeurs, they grew up with watchmen. The cars and things you see here that is expensive, in Africa is nothing. So there is a disconnect. It's up to you guys to bridge that. Okay? I couldn't just talk about Africa, I mean, in the amount of time that I have, but definitely, I'm here in this area. I own several businesses in this area. I'm the executive chairman of Global Business. I'm part of the local government. If there's anything that I can do to help, I will. I have an international blog. I have access to a lot of people, a lot of things that I can help with. My uncle actually is right now, I don't know anybody who knows Akufo-Addo, who's running for president. That is my uncle. I mean, I know a lot because I was brought up with history, and I don't want to take too much of your time, but if there is anything that I can do for anybody at all, Jennifer has my number. Get in touch with me, and I'll be more than happy to help you. Okay, whether it's internships, anything that I can help you with, anything at all, get in touch with me. I have contacts, I know people, I have local government, I have access to people that I may be wasting your time right now, but trust me, if I can help you, I will be able to help you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wait.
We look forward to making contact with you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
First of all, I would just like to express how proud